AC రావట్లేదు చూడు సార్. Okay. Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me and if you can hear me, please do let me know that you're able to see me. And if everything is good, then we'll start today's stream. This is a very important stream. I'm sure this will be very useful for you. So please do like the stream so that more people can join us. Okay. I'll answer some of the questions before we start today's stream. Sai Siddharth is saying, is this a theory class or a... Just give me 1 minute. There are some technical issues. If you have any doubts, please do let us know in the chat. I am looking at the chat and I'll try to answer your queries. Okay. So let me look at a few queries this time. Today is not a quiz type class. Today I will not be asking any questions. Today I will actually be trying to help you in LRDI. I will be giving you a good way in which you should strategize how to prepare for LRDI. What are the kind of sets that you should prepare for? What are the things that you should do to improve your chances in LRDI? That is basically the agenda for today's stream. Before we go there, let us first look at what are the kind of LRDIs that are asked in the last 3 years. The first step that you should do when you're preparing for CAT is try to figure out what are the kind of questions that are asked. So if you're looking at CAT 2020, if you're looking at CAT 2021, and if you're looking at CAT 2022, is there anything that is similar to the kind of LRDIs that are asked in the different slots? That is a good way, that is a strategic way of actually starting your LRDI preparation. So if you're looking at the kind of questions that are asked, if you are looking at say CAT 2021, let us look at CAT 2021 and CAT 2022. I have gone through all the slots and I have made a list of the kind of LRDIs that are asked. In slot 1 of CAT 2022, there were 4 sets. One set was a games and tournament set. One set was a Venn diagram set. One set was a arrangement kind of a puzzle set, and the other one was a roots and networks kind of a set, wherein you are given a bunch of nodes and there are lines between each of them, and you have to figure out the route to go to a particular from one starting point to the destination. This is as far as slot 1 is concerned. If you're looking at slot 2, there is again an arrangement set, there is again a roots and network set, there is a DI set on charts, and then there is a Venn diagram set. If you're looking at slot 3, there is again a DI based on a graph, there is an arrangement puzzle, there is a quant based LR, and there is a table with missing values. So if you're looking only at CAT 2022, what are the important types of LRDIs that are asked? The important types of LRDIs that you should be very well versed with are the arrangements type of puzzles. That is basically Einstein puzzles, wherein you are given something like, say, there are 5 people. A simple arrangements question will be something like this. There are 5 people. All of them have gone to a restaurant and they are sitting around a circular table. Each one of them is wearing a different type of a shirt. Each one of them has come in a different car. Each one of them has ordered a particular kind of a food. And you are given 10 or 11 clues, which will help you in figuring out who is wearing which shirt, has come in which car, and has ordered what. Something like, say, okay, the person who ordered, say, a masala dosa came in a red car. And the next one is that the person who is sitting opposite the guy who is wearing blue shirt has ordered something like, say, paneer curry, something like that. So after you go through all of them, you make these arrangements, you make the mental mapping, and then you are able to figure out that, okay, it is person A who came in a blue car who is wearing a red shirt who ordered the masala dosa or something like that. Now these are arrangement type of questions. A simple way in which you can attempt arrangement type of questions is first by drawing a table. The table will have different rows with respect to each of these people, and the columns will be the attributes. For example, if there are 5 people or 6 people sitting in a circular table, each of the row will be the name of the person and each of the column will be the parameter. For example, if there are 6 people, you will have 6 rows A, B, C, D, E, F, and if each one of them has ordered a particular dish, has come in a different car, is wearing a different shirt, then one column will be the dish that they ordered, the second column will be the car in which they have come, The third column will be basically the color of the shirt that they are wearing. And then you go through all the clues, and once you are able to figure out a direct clue, suppose you are told that person D has come in a blue car, then you immediately put it into the table and you continue going through it. Once you run through all the clues, you would have filled up some part of the table. Then you reiterate through all the clues. When you are reiterating through all the clues, you will be filling the second order data. What is the second order data? Something like, say, if the 10th clue says that person A has come in a blue car, you put it up after you read the 10th point. But suppose the second point says that the person who is wearing the blue shirt came in a red car, which is probably, say, referring to person A. You will understand that when you're reading it the second time, because first time when you read it, you will just see that, okay, the person who came in a red car is wearing a blue shirt. It doesn't make a lot of sense for you. You don't know who came in a red car. You don't know who is wearing a blue shirt. But once you go through the 10th clue and you read that, okay, person A has worn a blue shirt, you fill that part into the table. When you're reiterating through all the clues, then this time you will be able to fill out more part of the table. You continue doing this till a lot of the table is filled. Then you should be able to identify what are the important clues which still hold some juice. There will be some clues which are direct clues. The direct clues, once you put the information into the table, you have completely used up that clue. But there will be some clues which you haven't completely used up. So then you figure out what are the clues which are important, which still have some information left, and then think about it and then use those clues to fill the table up. Arrangement type of questions are very important. This type of arrangements, Einstein puzzles, circular arrangements, all of them are similar to each other. If you reiterate through all the clues and you fill the table, you will be able to get it. And nearly always, at least one question is asked in arrangements. So it is very important that you go through these arrangements puzzles as many as you can. This is the first type of LRDS sets which are very, very important. Before we go to the next type of LRDS, let me try to answer some questions. And people who are watching this stream, please do like us both on YouTube as well as on our Instagram page, which is actually very active. We are posting a lot of very useful information on our Instagram page also. So please do like us there also. Darshit Shah is saying, can I expect half paper of quant only from arithmetic and algebra? Arithmetic, algebra, geometry. These are the three very important topics in quant. I don't want you to leave any one of them. You should be good at algebra, you should be good at arithmetic, you should be good at geometry. There is no if, but, nothing of that sort. These three are very important topics. You have more than 4 months left. You should be able to get very good at each one of them. You can leave some of the others. If you're not comfortable with number systems, leave it. That's fine. But these three are important topics. They're not very vast topics also. If you spend time, you'll be able to get better at them. So focus on that. We have more than 60 people who are watching us live on Instagram. Guys, it is very important that you please like us and also share it with your friends. This is true for both YouTube as well as Instagram. I want at least more than 125 likes on YouTube. So please do like us, guys. Shantanu Chauhan is saying, good evening, sir. Good evening, Shantanu. Nikhil Agarwal is saying, how to understand caselets while giving test, which one to do or which one to not. One of the things that I do when I attempt LRDA, I'll give you 3 important tips. 3 important tips which basically involve strategy with respect to okay. I'll give you 3 important tips with respect to LRDA. The 3 important tips are one of the things that I do is when I first start LRDA, 2-3 minutes before I actually start LRDA, when I'm looking at verbal section, towards the end of the verbal section, I try to ensure that I don't spend a lot of my energy in the last 3-4 minutes of verbal. Normally, when the section is ending, there is a lot of pressure. You feel that you are about to solve a particular RC, you are about to finish something, and you feel that if you put in more effort, if you use that adrenaline, you will be able to make a lot of difference. This is quite true, especially in verbal and LRDA. Probably not so much in quant because quant has individual questions, but verbal has a set. RC is a set of questions. LRDA also is a set of questions. If you're able to solve the set, you will be able to make a lot of difference. You can get 3-4 questions correct. So the last 3-4 minutes are very, very important. So in verbal, I try to ensure that I don't get into that pressure. I do that by trying to attempt all the RCs beforehand, so that the last 3-4 minutes, I try to solve only verbal questions. Where I feel that if I don't do very well, even in the last 3-4 minutes, if I don't make the optimum use also of the last 3-4 minutes, I'll probably miss out on 1 or 2 questions. But I don't want to spend any adrenaline in those last 3-4 minutes of verbal, because adrenaline comes at a cost. Adrenaline will ensure that you are more efficient, you can work better, you can think faster. But immediately after adrenaline is used, after like say 5 minutes or so, you get a crash where you feel very tired. Now that tiredness should never occur at the start of LRDA, because LRDA for me is a very crucial section. It is a make or break section, because it is entirely possible that LRDA section can go completely wrong where I don't get even one set correct. That is eminently possible. So I know that LRDA is very important. So I don't use adrenaline in my verbal section towards that. So the last 3-4 minutes of verbal, I spend mostly on verbal questions, which are individual questions. I also do them in a kind of a half-hearted way. I try to like zone out a little, switch off, give my brain a rest, because when LRDA section comes, I should be on. I should be completely on. I should not be like half-hearted, or I should not feel tired, or I should not be in a different state of mind. I should not be in the verbal state of my mind. I should not keep thinking about the reading comprehension set that I did correct or I did wrong. All those things should end from the first second of LRDA, because it is the most important, most crucial section. I do that strategically, I do that deliberately. So the last 3-4 minutes of verbal section, I chill out essentially. I won't waste it, but I try to attempt verbal questions, maybe para jumbles, para completions, para summaries, which are individual, which are slightly less intense than a reading comprehension set. This is the first tip that I would give you for LRDA. The second one that I would give you is, once LRDA section starts, go through all the 4 sets or 5 sets. Normally 4 sets are expected, so go through all the 4 sets. Spend around 30 seconds to 40 seconds on going through a set. When you're going through a set, you should be able to identify in this 30-40 seconds, what kind of a set is it? Is it an arrangement set that I discussed? Is it a Venn diagram set? Is it a data interpretation set where you have to look at the graph, where you have to interpret the graph? Or is it a scheduling kind of a set? Is it kind of a set which you have attempted earlier? Like for example, are there 4-5 clues that are given and you will be able to fill out some numbers in a table and you will get the answer? Or is it a completely new kind of a set? Again, spend some 30 seconds or so. In this 30-40 seconds, you should go through the individual questions also. Try to see if the questions are part of a group or whether they're individual questions. What I mean by that is, suppose you spend some time and you solve this set. Will you be able to attempt all the 5 questions or all the 6 questions that are part of the set, or are these questions individual questions? So in the phrasing of the question itself, you can identify. If a question is a short question, if it says who is sitting opposite X, who is sitting opposite Y, that is a question which can be solved when you solve the set. But suppose the question is, suppose it is given that A is sitting opposite B, then who is sitting opposite C? Then you know that there are multiple cases involved. And even if you solve the set, it is not likely that you have solved the entire set and you can immediately rush through all the questions. Even then, each of the individual questions will take time. So once you get a sense of this set in those 30 seconds, 40 seconds, maybe a minute, then make a priority order of the kind of sets that you want to attempt first, the sets that you don't want to attempt first. A set which should be attempted first is a set which you are comfortable with. There are different types of sets. Some of us are comfortable with some sets, some of us are not comfortable with some sets. You should be able to identify whether you are comfortable with this kind of a set. Second is, try to attempt sets which are group sets. If you solve the group, the entire question should be solved. There is no individual question business. So those are the sets you should give priority towards. Once you have that priority order, then you start attempting the set which you think is the easiest. Suppose in your priority order, you wanted to attempt the third set first. You feel when you first looked at the set that this is an easy set, I'm going to attempt this first. If it works out to plan and you are able to attempt it, then immediately go to the next set and the next set and the next set. That is the best case scenario, which is very nice. But suppose you spend 3 minutes after you made the priority order and then you get stuck in the first set. You feel that this was easy, you felt it was easy, but it was not easy. Then be ruthless. After 5 minutes or so, if you feel that this is a time sink or this is going to take another 10 minutes for me to answer, immediately ignore it, go to the next set in your priority order. The reason for that is very simple. For you to do well in LRDA, you need to do very well in LRDA, you need to get 2 sets correct. Getting 2 sets correct would imply that you have 20 minutes per set. But you don't want to waste the first 10-15 minutes and then get stuck in a set. If you waste 5 minutes, that is fine. Then you go to the next set. If you are able to luckily get the next set in say 10 minutes, you are still left with 25 minutes. But if you waste the first 15 minutes and then you are not able to solve the set, this entire section will go for a toss. That is how you should tell yourself, you should think for yourself that I need to get only 2 sets correct. What is my strategy? This is the second one. The third one is with respect to theta questions. I'll answer them also. Guys, please do like the stream. We have close to 100 people who are watching this stream live. And I want at least 125 likes before the stream ends. Sai Siddharth is saying, sir, in quants, how to improve accuracy? Like it varies sometimes. If I go for speed, I get from 90 to 99.5 percentile. I got 99 percentile when I attempted less, so should I attempt less? I would recommend you to not attempt less for many reasons. Quant, the most important reason is that quant is getting easier by the year. The difficulty level of quant is decreasing. This is strategic also. I am convener, CAT convener once in a while, I think 2-3 years back, he actually said that they wanted to make quant easier so that more non-engineers and more gender diverse individuals can actually come to the institutes. So it is expected that quant will continue to become easier. Now, if you want to attempt lesser, that is a bad strategy, because it is possible that in the next year, quant will become very easy. So if you go ahead and you plan to attempt only say 12 questions or 13 questions, and the paper is very easy, and most people attempt say 16, then you are left out. That is not a good idea. I would recommend you to always answer more questions than less. It is also strategic. Quant, in anything, in CAT, if you are getting a question correct, you are getting +3. And if you are getting a question wrong, it is -1. Now, if you are able to eliminate an option, so out of 3 options, there is 1 option which is correct and 2 are which are wrong. You know for sure that the 4th option is not correct. Then the expected probability is greater than 0. Even if you mark a random option correct, the probability of you actually getting the expected marks that you get from that question will be positive. If you are not able to eliminate any option and then you mark a option randomly, then your expected score is 0. If you are able to eliminate even 1 option, you have a positive expected score. So even strategically, it makes sense for you to just attempt as many as you can. Naitik Roy saying, can I leave number system? I would normally not recommend you to leave any topic. Try to do the basics of any topic, because if a very simple question comes from number system, you should be able to get it correct. You don't need to become very good at all the topics. Number system is one such topic where you need not become very good at it, but you should know the basics. If a basic question comes, you should be able to answer it. Okay, let me answer another question. Let me discuss another type of LRDS which are very important. I discussed arrangements and puzzles kind of a set, puzzles kind of an LRDA. I'll tell you the next kind of very important LRDS that you should know. This is with respect to data interpretation, which involves charts. In the last 2-3 years, from CAT 2020 to CAT 2022, nearly every slot is having a direct data interpretation set. From CAT 2016 to CAT 2020, there was no data interpretation, pure data interpretation set. What I mean by that is every set in each of this CAT also involves some logical reasoning. Nothing was something where you have to directly interpret data from a graph or from a chart and you have to answer the questions. But in the last 2-3 years, there is at least one set which is a direct data interpretation set. What is a direct data interpretation set? A set which involves a pie chart that is given. What exactly is a pie chart? A pie chart would be a circle. It has different sectors. Each sector would represent a particular parameter. For example, if you are given a pie chart which says the number of students who are playing different sports. So you are given a chart and it has say 5 sectors. It is a circle which has 5 sectors. One sector has say 100 degrees. Another sector has say 50 degrees. Third sector has say 100 degrees. Fourth sector has say 60 degrees, and the last sector probably will have 50 degrees. So that the total is 360 degrees. The degrees that a sector has represents how many people are actually playing that game. Now this is how you interpret a pie chart. Similarly, you will also have a line graph. What is a line graph? A line graph will have an x-axis, it will have a y-axis. Typically, this graph will be somewhat parallel to the x-axis. It will keep going up and down, but it will be normally parallel to the x-axis, and every point on the x-axis represents a particular quantity. You can assume that this essentially represents, say, the population of a city in a particular during a set of years. So in the year 2000, it is say 10 lakhs that will be represented at some point. In 2001, it is say 12 lakhs, so it will go up. In 2002, it is 8 lakhs, so it will come down. And then it will be like a zigzag kind of a graph. And you are asked to calculate some data based on this line graph. This is a line graph. What is a bar chart? Bar chart also is an important type of chart. Bar chart will have lines which are perpendicular to the x-axis. Line graph will be parallel, bar charts will be perpendicular. So you will be given a bar chart. The height of each of the bar will represent the quantity of that particular parameter. So for example, in the earlier case, if I told you that in year 2000, the population of a city is say 10 lakhs, then the height of that bar will be 10 units. In the next year, if it is say 12 lakhs, in 2001, the bar's length will be 12. So it will be different bars which are represented along the x-axis. This is a bar chart. So you should basically know the simple basics of how to read different types of graphs. In addition to it, also learn one important type of a chart which is called a spider web. Spider web will be kind of similar to a pie chart, but not necessarily. It also will involve a circle. It also will involve some graphs, some points which are around a point. Now, spiderweb is not very difficult, but if you see that for the first time in an examination, you might feel flummoxed. You might feel completely taken aback, but it is a very simple type of a chart. So you should be able to read it. This is the next kind of a important LRDI which you should be comfortable with. This is simple data interpretation, reading graphs, pie chart, line chart, bar chart, spiderweb, any other type of a chart you should be able to read. Let me answer a few questions and after that I'll go to the next one. Any good YouTube channel or book to practice LRDI? Hitesh Agnihotri, I'll tell you two very good resources for you to practice LRDI. The first one, which I've mentioned many times, is the CAT previous papers. The best resource for preparing for LRDI is CAT previous papers. Go to the Cracku website. In the Cracku website, you can download the previous papers of CAT 2021, CAT 2022, CAT 2023. Download the PDFs of each of these slots. Then spend at least an hour every day in trying to attempt 1 or 2 sets from each one of them. The reason for that is very simple. If you are able to solve a set on your own, even if you take a lot of time, you will feel confident. And that confidence is very important for you to actually bring that momentum into your practice. If you feel that, okay, I spent 45 minutes, I was able to solve one LRDI set, you feel that, okay, LRDIs in CAT are not very difficult. If I spend time, I'm able to get it. And if I put in more effort, my time that is needed for me to solve these sets also will decrease. You will start believing that. So that is a very good resource. And if you really think about it, every year there are say 3 slots and every slot has 4 LRDIs. So CAT 2022 will have 12 LRDIs. CAT 2021 will have 12 LRDIs. CAT 2020 also will have 12 LRDIs. If you're looking at the last 5-6 years, you will be getting 50 to 60 LRDIs. All of them are important LRDIs. They are LRDIs of which similar LRDIs can be expected to be asked even in this year. That is a very good resource for you to actually start your preparation. And the advantage with Cracku's PDFs are that at the end of each question, we have given a button. In the PDF itself, there will be a button where you can click on it and you will be redirected to the video solution completely for free. So click on it if you are not able to get the set correct, or even if you get it correct, if you want to see how we have answered it, again click on it. Guys, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 125 likes before the stream ends. We have close to 100 people who are watching this stream live and we have only 91 likes. Guys, come on, let us get to 125 likes before the stream ends. Let me answer one more question before I go to the next stream. Vikas Gangur is saying, sir, I have just completed my graduation. I'm looking for a job but not able to grab any office job, basically for getting a field job. What else can I do for? See, right now, Vikas, my advice is very simple. If you already have a job, don't quit that job. If you don't have a job, because July is nearly ending, or July has already started and it will end soon, and August is also coming, I think right now is not the time for you to find a job, get accustomed to the job, get acclimatized to the job, and then also prepare for CAT. Right now that won't happen. So I would recommend, if you don't have a job, right now just focus on CAT. Try to do well in CAT and immediately after CAT is over, start looking for jobs. If you have a job, don't quit that job. Right now, basically I'm advising you to have that inertia. Don't take any undue risk. Don't change whatever is already present in your day. Don't change that schedule. Just focus on making the best use of whatever time you have. Abhishek Kilambi, thanks to your tips, my LRDI and quant sections have improved, but VARC is stagnant. Please suggest ways to improve. VARC, we have already done a few streams about how to improve in VARC. Sally herself has done a lot of very good videos. You can look at our YouTube list or just search for Cracku VARC CAT on YouTube. Just put Cracku verbal ability CAT tips or something. You will get very good streams. Typically, I would recommend you to, if you want me to give you 2-line help with VARC, I would recommend you to start reading as many articles as you can. Make it a habit. Don't sit one day, read 10 articles and then forget about it. Bookmark some important websites that I'm going to mention. The Guardian, New Yorker, New York Times, the Indian Express, these kind of articles, these kind of websites. Go to the op-eds. Don't look at the political articles. Political articles, I feel, are very biased. And those kind of biased articles will not be asked in CAT. And they, in general, I feel are not very useful. CAT articles, if you see, are very balanced. And a good article, a good passage also gives you balanced views. For example, even if it is about some current affairs topic, like say climate change, a good article will tell you that, okay, there is climate change happening. This is what are the pros, these are the cons of using, say, thermal electricity. You can say that thermal electricity is very important because poor countries, it is the cheapest form of electricity which will help millions of people come out of poverty. That is the advantage of burning coal. The disadvantage is it is making climate change, it is making the world hotter. So long term it is actually pretty bad. So we have to resolve some issues. This is a balanced article which is showing both pros and cons. These kind of articles are available in some of the websites that I mentioned, but some of the political articles I feel are like super biased. Even if you are looking at climate change, a political article would say that, okay, even there are many many developing countries which are just using which are using coal, and they are destroying the climate. Now, this is a bad way of phrasing the same thing. Many of the developing countries are using coal because it is the cheapest form of electricity, which is useful for lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. Now, these are the kind of balanced articles which can be expected in CAT. So, don't look for biased articles, look for balanced articles. Even if you're looking at an article, if you feel that this is very biased, stop going to that kind of a section, because that is just a waste of your time. And time is very precious right now. Normally, you can't read more than 5-6 articles if you're a working professional. So, use it judicially. So, keep reading articles about current affairs which are balanced. Try looking for different sources, and then I think slowly your score in VARC will improve. Vasavi Publishing, sir, I'm getting 40 to 60 marks in mocks. I mean, I always keep fluctuating. What can I do to improve my score? Vasavi, one of the things I would tell you, and one of the things I tell many people is, with respect to score, there are two things that you have to look at. Suppose you have taken 5 mocks in the month of June. Now, you'll have an average. Your average score will be, say, 50. And your standard deviation is, say, 15. What is standard deviation? Suppose in one mock you scored 35. In another mock you scored 65. In one mock you scored 40. In another mock you scored 70. It would mean that the average is somewhere around 50, but the mock scores are fluctuating quite a lot. Sometimes you're getting very high, sometimes you're getting very bad. Now, a good trend to have in the mock scores is that your average should continue to go up and your standard deviation should decrease. That is, if you take another 5 mocks in July, your average should improve from, say, 50, it should become, say, 60, and your standard deviation from 15 should become, say, 10. So now in July, if you're taking the mocks, your average should improve to 60. So in one mock you're scoring 50, in another mock you're scoring 70. In one mock you're scoring 52, in another mock you're scoring 68. But they're revolving around 60 and they are not spread as widely as in, say, June. And in August, hopefully your average should become 70 and your standard deviation should become 5. What that would imply is that one mock you score 65, another mock you score 75. One mock you score 66, another one you score 74. So the average should continue to increase and your standard deviation should decrease. This is what is important. So right now, if you're looking at the scores in June and if you feel that the standard deviation is quite a lot, don't worry about it. Just focus on the trend. Is the standard deviation or is the fluctuation increasing or is it decreasing? If the fluctuation is decreasing and the score is improving on an average, that is sufficient. Ritu Ravi is saying, sir, it looks very easy when I look at video solutions, but face a lot of problem when I do it on my own. I feel everything is correct, but the results that I get are very different. Don't worry about it. This is what I always believe. Cracku believes in active learning. So if you look at a video, you feel that you have understood the concept. So in any video that Cracku has, we always give a test at the end of it. Because if you explain a concept in a video, the best way for you to understand it and remember it is if you attempt a few questions immediately after it. Then you know how to answer these questions and you realize that you have understood the concept better. You also feel confident about how to apply the concept that you have learned. So focus on spending more time in attempting questions and trying to solve something on your own. Even if you don't get it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, don't give up. Try to spend more time. And only after that, look at the video solution. The reason for that is if you spend, for example, in an LRDI, you spend 30 minutes, you don't get it, then you look at the video solution. Then you will remember the video solution much better. If you spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes in trying to get a set correct, you spent a lot of effort and you're not able to get it. Then you look at the video solution, you will remember that video solution after 2 months also. But suppose you tried to solve a set for 10 minutes, you didn't get it, you looked at the video solution. Then you will forget the video solution after a week. You will forget the method that was used in the video solution after a week. But suppose you spent 1 hour, 2 hours in solving a set. You are not able to get the set correct, but you put in a lot of effort. You spent 1 hour, 2 hours in that set. Then you look at the video solution. You will definitely remember that strategy that was used in the video solution even a month later. So that effort that you put is very, very important. Okay guys, let me answer about the next kind of LRDI that is asked. The last very important kind of an LRDI, which is again very commonly asked, is a Venn diagrams kind of a set. Venn diagrams will involve an overlap between the parameters. For example, a quintessential Venn diagram is that there is a apartments which has 100 people. All of the 100 people get either one newspaper or more than one newspaper, and say there are 4 newspapers, and say 10 people get all the 4 newspapers, 20 people get only 3 newspapers, 30 people get say 2 newspapers, and say 40 people get exactly 1 newspaper. The names of the newspapers are also given, say they are A, B, C, D. You are told that 15 people get A, B and C, 10 people get B, C and D, and all of these different parameters are given, and finally you are asked how many people get only A, how many people get only B. Now at the start it looks very confusing. If somebody doesn't know how to answer a Venn diagrams question, they will feel completely at bay when they look at the question for the first time. But the point is, you should know how to represent a Venn diagram set. A 4-diagram Venn diagram, or a 4-set Venn diagram, or a 4-parameter Venn diagram, there is a standard way to represent this data. Once you know the standard way to represent the data, this is a very simple set. And nearly at least I think 10 daily targets are on Venn diagrams which involve 4 parameters. So solve the daily targets also, or try to figure out any. I have done 2-3 streams on YouTube also on Venn diagrams. Just Google search Cracku Venn diagrams. You'll get a few very important, very well explained Venn diagrams sets. You will at least know how to represent that Venn diagrams. This also is a very important type, because if you get that set correct, you are going to get one entire set correct, and it is a very easy topic to actually solve. So to reiterate, the things that are important are arrangements puzzles, charts, Venn diagrams, and another important tip that I want to give for LRDI is start solving Sudokus. Even if it is a simple Sudoku, try to solve Sudokus, because I've realized that solving Sudokus and how you do in some of the sets will improve, because there are some sets which involve filling missing values in a table. Many times, even though it is not a direct Sudoku, sometimes the tricks that are used in Sudoku are often asked in LRDS. That is, you are told that a simple set which can be asked is, there are say 5 teachers who are teaching 5 different classes, and no teacher teaches in the same class twice a day, and something like that, which is replicating the conditions that are there in a Sudoku. These kind of sets are again often asked, where it is not exactly a Sudoku, but some parts of the LRDI represent a Sudoku, or they resemble a Sudoku. So if you know how to solve a Sudoku fast, you'll be getting these kind of sets much faster. You'll also feel more confident of your attempts. So solve Sudokus, no need of solving very hard Sudokus, but at least easy to medium Sudokus you should be able to solve quickly. That will definitely again play a part. This is what I wanted to say. If you have any doubts with respect to how to prepare for LRDI, please do let me know. Please do like the stream. If you have any doubts, comment below the stream. I'll look at all the doubts that you have and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Also remember that Cracku is providing a lot of very useful content for free. We are offering all the previous papers of important MBA exams like CAT, ZAT, SNAP, CMAT, all of them for free with detailed video solutions. We are also offering one free mock in CAT, SNAP, ZAT, all the important MBA exams. We are offering one mock for free along with detailed video solutions. So make the best use of it. And if you are enrolled to the Cracku daily targets, take them. They will help you quite a lot. If you are enrolled to our mocks, definitely start taking our mocks. All of them again have very good video solutions, and our mocks are also taken by thousands of students. So make the best use of it. You have 4 months left. I hope you make the best use of the remaining 4 months.